Namaste and welcome to Satsang this evening here in the UK. So I have a lot of questions that have been sent in, so I'm going to see if I can get through a few of these questions, and then I'll open it up and see if there's questions here live on this session. This first one says, hi Helen, my sister and I watched your video, The Highest Act of Love, and it felt like you were talking directly to us about what we have been going through. We understand now that we agreed to be on a mission to heal ourselves as well as humanity. We've been on the spiritual path for about 25 years, with the last 14 years doing intense healing. Excuse me. We have had many spiritual teachers and followed their teachings, basically healing, and nothing changed for us. Each spiritual teacher packaged it in a different way, but basically it was feel, then heal, transmute, or transcend these emotions and pain inside, and your outside world will change for the better, and it never did. I'd like to share one of our most extreme, intense healing experiences for humanity. Mine was first, and on some level, I knew what was going to happen before it did. I sat on the couch and asked my sister to hold my hand. I could feel all the great master's presence as well as my angels, which gave me some comfort. I could not see them, but I knew they were there to support me. As I looked up towards the ceiling, I could see dark energy coming into the room. It kept coming, and then it zoomed in on me. I squeezed my sister's hand right before it came into my heart. I could feel humanity's physical pain, its torture, it endured for eons, and I began screaming with tears streaming down my face. I closed my eyes shut and felt that torture and screamed until I was hoarse. It just kept coming, and after around 5 minutes or so, it just stopped. When it was over, I was calm and at peace, but exhausted. 3 days later, I'm holding my sister's hand as she's feeling humanity's pain of having watched loved ones being tortured and killed, and they could do nothing about it. All of that pain from humanity eons ago, and she is healing it by allowing all that negative energy into her heart. It wiped her out as much as my experience did me. It's clear to us now we are here to heal, but we did not realize it was going to just keep continuing day in and day out for so many years while we awakened. We lost so much at the beginning. We both lost our jobs, our savings, our mother and sister passed, whom we were both extremely close to, and we lost most of our possessions and our home. Honestly, what motivated us at the beginning to heal was the promise of a better life, our money. But later we discovered that really we only wanted the money because we thought it would bring us peace. But now we're realizing we cannot have anything we desire like peace or a better life, no matter how much we follow your 4 lessons, as long as we are on this mission to heal. We are ready to be beyond this mission of suffering and healing. We don't want to do that for the rest of our human lives. So, dear Helen, what do we do if we do not wish to heal anymore? We appreciate you, your teachings, and your support. We love you. So, thank you. Love you too. I'll share my experience at this kind of stage that you find yourselves at, because hopefully that will be helpful. For me, there were many reasons for wanting to wake up, and like you said, money was one of them. You know, I'll feel better when I have enough money. I'll feel better. I'll feel more peaceful, and it never worked, as you said. The enough money to pay the bills came only when I was already feeling peaceful. So I had to come from the inside out rather than outside in. I tried to change my circumstances to make me feel better, then it's never going to work, because outer abundance can only come as a reflection of inner abundance of peace and wisdom and compassion and all of that. And this mission, although it seems a noble one, although it seems a holy mission, it eventually backfires on us, doesn't it? Because even this is in duality. There are others that we're here to heal. And it's also in duality because if we're looking at other beings and we want them to heal, then at the end of your spiritual journey, when you're really ready to awaken after who knows how many imagined lifetimes, then that's going to actually slow it down. Wanting yourself to heal, wanting others to heal, it's actually going to slow down what's already occurring. And this is why sometimes it really gets quite horrible at the end before it gets better. And I had to come to see myself that when I look at people and try to help them fix themselves or heal themselves, eventually I'm doing them a disservice. But when I look at them and see myself, or see the self, see the Buddha everywhere I look, or see Christ in his many disguises, or whichever great being that we feel a resonance with, or if we could just call it pure consciousness awareness, the self, the noumenon, the presence. So the best way then is to let go when you're ready of this mission to heal, as you said here, and choose to see what everyone already is. And it's not an avoidance of what's going on in the world. It's not an avoidance of that pain. It's just when you are determined to see someone as they really are, even though they might still be convinced that they're a separate being, and even though they might still be convinced that they're suffering, when you're willing to, inside your own heart, see that they're not who they think they are. I'm not suggesting you try to tell everyone. Some people want to hear it. Some people can't hear it. But as you hold who they really are, that this is the Buddha standing right in front of you, all around you, then something amazing begins to happen. You open up a space, not through anything you're doing for that being, but you're finally not projecting anything onto them at all. You don't need anything from them at all. And that's not saying that they're not going to heal. You're just, this fullest meaning of the word healing is to see that there never really was anything to heal. That we're already the perfect self. And that all that we've been suffering from is our own illusions about ourselves, who we actually are compared to who we thought we were is extraordinarily different. So on a level of thought, we seem to be caught in illusion, and then we seem to get free of that illusion. But as the awareness itself, you're already free, and so is everyone else. It only gets murky from the level of thoughts and then down into emotions in the physical body. So the best thing you can do for all of humanity then is to be determined to see them as they really are, to experience them as they are in this moment, not to think about them. And that would be where I would suggest to do that. And also it ends up allowing abundance into your life anyway. And yes, like you said, money's not going to make you happy, but it allows us to stop worrying about that kind of stuff so that we've got more focus and energy and attention to put on the most important thing, this thing. So as noble a mission as it is, we have to move then to the missionless place, the self with a capital S, where there really is nothing that needs to be fixed about anybody, that all of our thoughts and projections are seen to be just that. And again, it's not an anti-healing or an avoidance. It's actually what's the most effective, quickest, easiest, most powerful way, all happen to be the same way, to help everyone around me. And that is to be determined. I'm going to really walk up to the next person I need to have a conversation with a silent intention in my heart to experience them as they actually are. Like as if I'd never met them before, even though I might live with this person or I've met them or known them for years and years and years. Am I going to come fresh to this meeting with no preconceived ideas about what's going to happen in it? That is the most open place where you're not asking anything from anyone energetically. And whoever's standing in front of you is free to be whoever they are in that moment. And they'll begin to relax because they can feel on some level that you're not asking anything. You don't even need them to wake up and see who they already are. You don't even need that from them even. They're just beautiful as they are. And their body and mind is going through whatever process it's going through, but they're already free, already. And when you do that, when you hold that place, not from an effort, just a deep curiosity, I'd rather experience this being directly than experience my thoughts about them, because I can't do both. I can either think about this being and I experience what I think, we go through the same old rerun, or I can meet them authentically, not knowing what's going to happen. And that becomes so peaceful, completely peaceful. Okay, I see the hand up. I'll come to you I'll just get through a couple more questions and then I'll come to you. Hi, Helen. My life stopped a few years ago and is slipping through my fingers. I am stuck and feel stagnation. Is it ego, which is in constant opposition to everything? Or is it just avoidance of life and not wanting to feel further disappointment and being hurt? It feels like I press the brake and the gas at the same time, same moment. What keeps me back from getting involved in life again? Life which feels directionless and purposeless. Is it only thought which I should disregard constantly? Or in not taking any move, ego wants to maintain yourself in a comfort zone from where to start, not to feel that I am wasting my life? Something in me wants to come out of a shadow, but I just don't know where to start. Sending virtual heart. Thank you for that. So is it ego, which is in constant opposition to everything, or just avoidance of life and not wanting to feel further disappointment? Well, I think from my experience, they're the same thing. Ego is in, if life's going this way, ego wants to go this way, right? If life goes this way, ego wants to go this way. And it's like, it's not even a personal thing, ego. It's just, it has to have an opinion, a conversation, a movement away from what's already is, trying to move away from what already is. So it does that by trying to protect itself from anything new, avoiding moving deeper into awakening, and it tries to maintain this kind of level of seeing where it doesn't have to really fully let go of all of its beliefs. It's just a collection of thoughts, the ego. And then, so what can you do to move forward, to come out of the shadow? So if I was in your position, and I have been, I would put all of my attention that I could on finding out who you really are. Are you the one that is stuck here? And I know it feels like it's true. It feels ultimately really, really true. But is there some deeper part of you that you can experience that is never stuck, that is never in avoidance or never in resistance either? What happens when we do that? when we really look for the deepest aspect, what's happened here is you're kind of stuck in between. You've gone too far to go back to believing yourself in being a separate being. But identity hasn't fully shifted over here to where you absolutely see that you're already completely free. And we get some point and we lose the drive of the seeking mechanism of ego. We lose most of that. He said, life seems directionless and purposeless. We lose that because the seeker's starting to fall away, that which is constantly trying to get somewhere other than this moment, to be something other than you already are. And that needs to go deeper. You need to even let go of trying to go deeper into yourself. The safe thing to assume, to hold on to, if there's anything to hold on to, it's the fact that we haven't fully seen what we are. Still, even now, I don't have this sense that I've seen everything about myself. And I know I never could. And the moment I get some kind of unconscious assumption that I have seen it clearly, I begin to feel constricted and tight again. So instead of going outwards, let's go inwards. Let's see, is there more to me than I've discovered? Is there more to reality, to this moment, than I've actually experienced? I would stop trying to get out of this trap, because you're not actually stuck. Feels like it. Your mind, your egoic sense of self, is very stuck. But you can't fix that, and you don't need to. It'll fix itself when you start to really put more attention on who you really are. How do we do that? By just recognizing I might not have seen it all. So awareness, consciousness, presence, silence, stillness, whatever you want to call your real nature. Get curious about it. See if you've actually seen it all. And you'll find that everything in your outer world begins to magically move then again, because you'll have a direction, but it won't be outwards. It will be deeper inside, to a richer and fuller understanding of who you really are. So this problem seems like yours. You're not in a shadow. This is when we identify with our mind, this is what we end up feeling, but you are already free. If you get really determined, like really, like I want to really see. I don't want to be stuck anymore. I don't want to feel stuck. I want to see who I am. So I'll just answer one more and then I'll come to the hands that are up. Hi, Helen. Not sure if this is the correct email address to ask a question. I've been binge watching non-duality for years now, and last year had a very brief glimpse of what it's pointed towards. For a few seconds, whilst eating my lunch, I saw that everything was just happening by itself without a me doing anything, so separate me. This experience is beautiful yet fleeting. Now I'm left in a kind of no man's land, not knowing how to bring about the seeing again. Any advice would be appreciated. Thanks. So it's not uncommon to have these little moments, where there's this opening where you're just eating your lunch, or you're just digging the weeds in the garden, or you're just driving somewhere and you're not really doing any spiritual work, intense, and then something just happens, opens up. How do you get back to that? Well, first of all, you said in that glimpse, everything was just happening, including yourself, right? Your body and mind were just doing whatever they were doing. Everything was happening by itself without a me doing anything, a separate me. So anything that separate sense of me that seems to have come back, anything that does to try to get it back is actually going to make it seem further away, because it's really emphasizing this sense of a separate me that isn't really there. It seems to be. So instead, just thinking about that experience and just gently intending, just the gentle intent. I'd like to experience that again. I'd like to see it clearer. I'd like to, I'm open to move deeper into that. Like the softest of intention. What was that? What was that? And I'm open to see, just curious, really. Like Santa came and gave you a great gift and said, I'll come back tomorrow, and the gift that I give you tomorrow is going to be even better. You wouldn't be like running down the street after him. You'd just be sort of sitting, waiting with this open curiosity, this kind of, I don't know what's going to come, but it's going to be better than. And anything you do, so if you do some spiritual practice to try to get that back, you're going to feel much more disturbed because you're saying that it's not already here. Instead, do that practice to see what's already here. What's already here right now in this moment that we might be currently oblivious to, missing out on. There's a different motivation for doing the practice, isn't it? So I can either sit in meditation to try to get back to that experience that I had, which will make me feel even more disturbed, and it'll seem further away than ever because it'll be emphasizing the fact that there's a me doing something, which there really isn't. Or I can sit in meditation just with a real open curiosity to see what's already here. And this is what happened to me. I had to switch over why I was doing self-inquiry, meditation, contemplation, just to go to see clearer what's already here, what I already am. And that's a very different energy. Can you feel the difference in those two? One's trying to get somewhere and it's further in the seeker. And it's also starting from the assumption that what I'm looking for isn't already here because I'm not experiencing it right now. Ego concludes it's not here. But if it's here all the time and it is what I already am, it must be here. So let me start from the assumption that it must be here. And I'd like to use my practice to explore it, to open up to it, to welcome it, to invite it, to invoke it. That's the softening, isn't it? So really, really common. It's like quicksand, right? If you struggle to try to get somewhere, you're going to sink deeper. If you just sort of, what was that? What was that? I'd like to see that again. And don't try hard. See if you can have some fun. Watch something funny. Have a laugh with your friends or something. See. Okay, so we'll go to Srividya. Is that? Sorry if I mispronounced. Go. Hi.
Atma Namaste. Hi, Helen.
Namaste.
I'm pretty new to your satsang. This is my first session.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. And I find you very kind and very loving. And every time I think about a question and I listen to your audio or your video on YouTube, the next sentence would be answering my question. So that's it. I was able to relate to it so much. So to start, so I have been facing a lot of struggles in the sense that every little aspect of my life has been a lot of effort. I have to put in a lot of effort. For instance, if I'm traveling and I'm at the airport, there is a connecting flight delay, and I'm supposed to reach the destination in 4 hours, but I end up reaching 24 hours later. And I run through all the security, like 10 times security checks before I reach the place, and I'm exhausted and tired. Or when it comes to relationships, every single time the partner says, it's too much effort. I really like you, but it's too much effort to be with you. Or in terms of job search, professional career, when I apply for 2,000 jobs or 3,000 jobs, I get like one interview call.
Yeah.
And when people say there are so many opportunities, it's so hard for me to relate to it because it's so much of effort, and I'm tired at this point.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
It's very exhausting, and uh, my mom, we believe, we do the astrological charts, and she says there's a lot of deep karma also, because I try everything. I try meditation, I try everything that I can, but it's like I said, it's a lot of effort that I put in, but I don't see results. So she goes for, looking at astrological charts, and she's like, okay, maybe we'll get a solution here, but I just don't know at this point how to make my life effortless, because I'm tired.
Should we do it now? Should we see if we can, yeah, if you're up for it, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's just explore together for a few moments this question, and you don't need to find answers, okay? I just want you to sit with this question with me, and let's just see what happens. Let's just ask, what is here already? And whenever we ask a question together, we're just open, like we're watching a movie. We're just going to see what happens. You don't have to find an answer. It's not about the answers. So we're just sitting with this question. What is here? And everyone can do this if you want to. What is here already? What is here right now? Whichever wording feels better. So just going to relax as if you're watching a movie with me. We're just sat on the sofa together with a bit of popcorn, watching this question, seeing what happens. Yeah. So what is here right now? And we're just chilling out with this question. I don't need you to tell me any answers, although you can obviously, if you want to, tell me what's happening, but just this question is more important. We're just going to use this question to help us just put the brakes on. What is here right now? We're just curious and we're open.
Feel my strong heartbeat.
Yeah. Wonderful. Whatever happens, whatever answer comes, we just stay with this question. All the answers are welcome. What's here right now?
Sound around me.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Nature.
Your words and my words are showing up right now, aren't they?
Yes.
We're just staying open with this question. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Just enjoying the question and just hanging out together for a while. What's here right now?
I just feel a lot of pain.
Yeah. So that's another answer, isn't it? It doesn't feel so good, this answer, but if we can just do our best to let that be, you don't have to push it away or anything. Just letting your body feel it the best that you can. Don't have to be superwoman. And then just gently coming back. That's another answer, the pain. Okay, and then we'll refocus on the question. What's here right now? How are you feeling now?
I just feel Space.
Yeah. So it's another kind of answer, that, isn't it, in a way, a kind of spaciousness. And again, it's not the right answer. There's no right answer. Just enjoying that and staying open with the question. You're doing really, really well. What's here right now? Is that space, is it making an effort?
After the mind subsides, it's okay. I can see the space, but it's not always like this.
Yeah. So just practicing, all we've done is ask the question and just being open to see answers. We haven't tried to make anything happen, have we? But we can see that when we ask a question, mind somehow begins to unravel itself and begins to slow down. Body might relax a little bit. And you might begin to notice, like you said, just the spaciousness. Can you feel something just slowing down now? And we just, as we practice like this, we're just practicing paying more attention to what's already here than trying to get somewhere. There's already this part of you that is effortlessly here, that everything is just happening. And these words are just happening, aren't they, inside this moment?
I can feel the energy in my fingers, some kind of.
Yeah. So we stop frantically racing towards the next moment, which wastes a lot of energy, and the body starts to feel a little better, more energy, spare. Energy can move around the body when it needs to, where it needs to. So I want you to practice like this, okay? You can call it contemplation, we can call it meditation. We don't really need to call it anything. Just, all we did was just ask this question, and we just stayed open to whatever answers came. Some of them were pleasant. Some of them were a little unpleasant. We didn't label them. We just let them come. Yeah.
Yes, I'll definitely practice this, but I have, like, when I do my yoga and I have my meditation sessions, I do have that period of stillness and space, but I still don't find it reflecting in my outer world.
So
is there any, I don't know.
What do you want to change in your outer world?
Desire to get married, but it's not happening in terms of abundance and basically the effort that I put in, I want it to be reflected.
So instead, if you focus on the effortless you and just Stop trying to make that happen for the moment. Stop trying to make anything happen for now. Could it be that everything that you want is trying to happen, but we just need to get out of our own way? We're trying so hard to make something happen from the assumption that there is a separate being here that has to make it happen. But what if,
when will I know what effort that I have to put in and when I should just hold back?
when you find your body moving to do something all by itself, that's when it should happen. If it doesn't move, it's not supposed to. Yeah, you get a sense of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
We'll go to Caro. Is it Caro?
Hey, Helen.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Also, I have something similar to the other person, but I have like an emergency to change some things in my life. I lost my job. I have 2 daughters. I feel my heart also broken, like completely broken. I feel as nothing. And I can't live like that because sometimes also I feel like I can be a mother and, and my children need me.
Yeah.
This is something very hard for me, but it's like I had very difficult situations in the last 3 years and they didn't stop, just one, another. And believe me, I wake up, I say, I try to be with this presence most of the time, but it's something like this kind of experience absorbed me to be that sometimes I want to die, it's like, I don't know. Last week, I was thinking to talk with the father of my children, say, please take them because really I can't more with the life, with everything. And also I study with one person that is with you about the feelings, and we found the main feelings, one of them is the sadness, and the other one is like I don't feel like, I don't know the word in English, dignidad,
No, sorry.
No. 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dignity.
Dignity.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
For-
Natasha. Yeah.
Thank you. For anything, for job, for relationship, everything in my life is like the other person say a lot effort, but make me to lose my faith almost in everything. I had one job last Friday. I lost this job on Monday. During the weekend was really like, I feel nothing, but on Monday, I feel like a lion, but it's something like to survive, but this is no good life. It's something that I really need peace. I really need to find this love inside me, and I really want to be again mother of my children, so I don't want to be in the life like I don't have to do this kind of things, so I don't ask for many things, just to cover everything.
Yeah.
And to open my heart to be different, because the life in this way is so hard, and I don't want to bring that to my family.
Well, let's start by acknowledging that you're doing an amazing job right now. You may not feel it, but I have to say it to you. As a mother of 4 myself, I remember being in that terrible place where you you just want to leave, and you know, it feels too much to stay, to carry on. So it takes great courage to reach out like this as well. So, you know, well done for that too. And let's just have a look and see. Let's have a look and see. Let's do a question together, you and me, if you want to. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Let's do a little inquiry and see, is it true that peace isn't already here? Peace that we're looking for. Is it peace that resonates more, or love at this point for you? Which one do you feel? Peace or love?
Both.
Okay.
I am hungry for everything.
Okay, well, we'll go with peace, but you can always,
Peace.
yeah, you can do this with love as well afterwards. So once you get the hang of it, yeah. But we just want everything. We want everything, yeah. Yeah.
No, just those
Just
things.
those two, yeah. Well, actually, they are everything, yeah. But I know what you mean, yeah. So let's just do like we did. Let's just ask, because it doesn't feel like peace is here right now. It doesn't really feels like the opposite. So if we start from that place, because you're already the infinite self, even though it doesn't feel like that, if we start from the assumption that peace isn't here, just because my body and mind is disturbed, really disturbed, if I start from the assumption that it's not here, then I'm not going to be able to. So let's question that assumption. Is it really true peace is missing or absent, whichever? Is it really true peace is not here right now? And we're going to get a little bit feisty. We're going to get a little bit like determined. We're going to be like, is it really true? It's not here right now. You know, we're going to get a little like this, you know?
Yeah.
And we're going to see what happens. So
like, I feel like something in my stomach, like want to vomit or things like that.
Yeah. Like, I'm so done. I am so done living like that. I am determined.
Okay.
I'm determined. Yeah, there you go. So, is it really true that peace is missing? And just like before, don't have to make any answers appear. We're just going to see what happens, you and me, when you ask this question. And again, everyone else can follow on at the same time. Is it really true? I really would like to see if peace is actually missing. We're not trying hard here. We're just open. As if our work is done just by asking this question. Is it really true? I need to find peace. Of course, your mind will be saying, yeah, it's true. You need to find peace, but that's welcome. It's just it's an answer. It's not the answer we're going to stop at.
Silence and feel movement inside, but it's like a presence.
Silence and presence, yeah.
Yes, but silence and present is in silence and present is happening a movement.
Yeah. And peace? Is it absent?
I don't feel peace.
Okay.
I just not really this kind of peace, like peace. No, just I feel like a presence to know that there is a movement inside me.
Yeah.
But peace, no.
So let's just get curious about that presence. Just like really, like, what is that? Like a 2-year-old would be, you've got kids, what is that? What is it? You know how they are. Okay. So we'll just like, what's that? What's that presence? What's that about? Again, we're not doing any work. We're just curious. What is this? You're smiling.
It's a presence.
Yeah.
Always present.
Yeah, always present, yeah. And is there a you? Is there a you and it? Just trying to see if there's a you and this presence. Don't have to, just curious. I'd just like to see, is there a me and it?
Yes.
It feels like there's a you and it, right?
Yes.
Where is that you that's inside? Are you inside the presence, outside, all around it?
I don't know. It's like I am there and I am conscious about everything.
Even of this presence, you're conscious even of this presence.
Sorry, could you say again? Even what?
Even this presence, you're conscious of it. You know it's here.
Yes.
So what are you then? If you know even this presence, what are you? Where are you? These might seem like really weird questions, but let's go with them.
When I close my eyes and I try to answer your question, it's like everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're everywhere, are you suffering?
It's like there is a separation, something to, or I don't know how can I call something to see this movement, this suffering, and this presence. You know, something is seen that.
And are you the suffering or are you the presence?
I can feel both.
Yeah, you're not either of those then, right? You're aware of both of them.
No. It's like the feeling, you know, I feel this feeling very strong.
Yeah.
When the feeling is very strong, you feel like this kind of feelings absorb you.
Yeah.
But you see, it's like one step behind, and you see.
You're watching
like
it from
this attraction. I see that,
Yeah.
But not completely in peace. I see that. Like something here also I feel like maybe it needs more time to be there, or I don't know. Like it's something like I know that something is conscious about everything, and only when I distract myself I start to suffer, you know, or when I put into this kind of feelings, like I leave me to absorb in this kind of things, like, but it's like I feel a fire inside, like about maybe a resistance for all the things that happen. Like for me, it's difficult to leave them. Then I can see, and something, I don't know why I
So
can.
here's what I want you to do, okay, to focus on. And again, just feeling this out. If it feels good to explore it, go with it. Over the next few days, I want you to notice that when you put your attention on your life, you feel terrible.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask this question, is it true peace is absent? Or, you know, when we've done this questioning, excuse me, together, you begin to feel better, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you begin to notice that the moment I try to fix anything or change my life,
This is what happened.
yeah. So, and we do that because mind says, if I don't try to fix this, it's never going to change. But
Really?
what if that is what if that is the thing that's keeping us in this place? What if the opposite is true? The moment I stop trying to fix it, it sorts itself out. Trying to fix it hasn't worked anyway, has it?
No.
So if I bring all of my attention as often as I can to a question, any question, we've used this one tonight about peace, you know, looking for peace, then we're going to begin to take our attention away. It's not that we're not going to love our kids and, you know, be a parent and all that stuff, but we'll be there from a different place, okay? So as selfish as it may seem to put all your attention on you, you have to do this now, okay? You need to find out what you are first and then be a parent from there. Because when you recognize who you really are and you're starting to do that, it becomes very painful to try to look at the world as a separate being like you used to. Really painful. So painful that you just don't want to continue.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel bad at all, anyway, any reason, anytime, your mind will say, it's something out there happening that's making me feel bad. Right?
Right.
The kids are misbehaving, or I don't have enough money, or whatever, right? I got fired from my job. But what if you feel bad only because your attention has wandered to other beings other than your own self? Could it be that simple then, to bring attention back? Just gently throughout the day, reminding yourself of your question. You don't have to sit with your eyes closed, obviously, if you're at work, but I'm gonna try and just be more conscious of where my attention is. Is it out there trying to change something, or is it interested in what's really here? That becomes the most important thing, like more important than oxygen, breathing, you know, like, I mean, obviously keep breathing, but I need to just keep my attention as much as possible. Sometimes that's easier than others, but that's just a habit you can build, isn't it?
Yes.
You begin to see the only thing that's ever been wrong is that I've been trying to relate to my experience as a separate being. right? And the moment I bring attention back to, well, what actually is this? Is it a person, or is it this presence? What is it really? You start to feel better, lighter. Right now you feel different, don't you? Yeah.
Yes.
So we didn't fix anything, but when you relate to your world, move around in your world from this open place of curiosity as to who you really are, then you can begin to experience it really differently. You have a lot more energy for your kids, for your job, for everything. You'll be happier.
Now I understood that I do the self-inquiry, but was with some interest to change something. Then I do, and I
all
see
do that.
something is
If I
changed.
get
No,
if I get
okay.
this awakening thing, then my kids will magically start to behave or something, right? They won't be. But and we all start from there. If I do this in here, it'll change out there. But what we've done today is we've looked in here, but from a different reason, just because we're curious to actually see. Yeah. So something like that, right? Can you get that sense of that energy? Different motivation behind questioning. Yeah. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well done. Well done. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll take the questions, the hands that we have up, and then we'll leave it there for today. So I'm gonna need you to tell me how to pronounce your name. I'm really sorry.
Happens every time. Helen.
Helen. Wonderful, beautiful. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
It's so nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to cry for sure.
That's okay. I might cry too.
Okay, I have to make a joke first.
Oh, go for it. Go for it. Well, I'm not going to take a drink while you do that. I'll wait.
It's really nice to meet me.
Nice to meet me too.
I've been waiting to make this joke. So I've had the last few days the deepest seeing, and earlier you said that you haven't finished seeing what you are, so obviously I haven't finished either, but I saw something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whew, I didn't expect that at all. When I said that I wanted to wake up, I just thought I'm just going to be me, but better and happy. And I'm going to have more
That's
problems.
kind of true. It's different to what we thought me is, isn't it? But still better and happier. Betterer?
Yeah.
Betterer.
Not what betterer. It's not what I expected.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in shock of what I've seen.
It's very different, isn't it? It's very different.
And it comes in waves for the last few days, like it comes and goes in waves. And sometimes I don't want to say feel it more, but sometimes I'm more like that. And sometimes I'm a little bit more like the separate self, but there's always a bit of both.
Yeah.
Right.
That's normal. It's normal.
And there's a lot of fear that came up.
Yeah.
Because I understand now what Krishnamurti said, what he meant when he said, I don't mind what happens. Now I get it. Because I've experienced for a couple of days being in that, there's no words. I understand too why it's so hard to explain it to people, because there's no.
Welcome to my life, yeah.
I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just like, what? That's what I am. Like, that's just crazy. I feel like I'm a little bit going crazy. Like, there's so many things going on at once. And I'm like, so when I was really, like right now, I feel half separate and a little bit of that, but not full, because I'm talking to someone. So it kind of makes me more feel like I'm separate. But when I was really not minding what was happening, I realized that I really didn't mind what was happening to my body. at all. And so when I'm not fully there, then I start to be scared because I'm like, oh my God.
There's
Like,
enough of a someone left to freak out at what's been seen.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there's a part of me that feels like the fear also belongs to the self, capital S, because there's a part of me that feels like I'm a child who just realized what she is, and I'm all alone and there's nobody to tell me anything about myself.
All alone.
Like
Everywhere.
there's nobody else.
Or could it be that you've always been talking to yourself?
Yeah, and that's scary.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm so happy to talk with you right now, because I feel like.
So notice this tendency that mind has, or the separate sense of self, whatever you want to call it, ego, whatever. I'm using those words to mean the same thing, really. That bit of us that's kind of. So we have this seeing of what's actually true. I'm everywhere. I'm nothing at all. I'm everything, and then mind says, yeah, but there's nobody for me to talk about that with. What do I do with this experience? And it's hilarious, but it's obviously very painful. You're laughing a lot, and I've been there too. But
I've been crying. I've been doing that for a few days.
Yeah, I remember tears and laughter and snot and all sorts going on. Some drooling probably too, because it's very shocking, isn't it, at first? So if you just notice that tendency that the moment we have a seeing, mind wants to package it. Okay, what do I do with this now? What do I do with this now?
That's literally, I had this question in my mind, like, what do I do now?
So does that question apply to the infinite self?
No.
So you just have to sift and sort. Is this my job? Do I have to even figure out what to do with this? How to cope with this? How to manage this? How to even embody this? All the subtle things now. Mind's going to give you a list of job applications that it thinks you need to put in. I have to embody the self. How do I do that? And I'm laughing, but I was right there with you. Oh my gosh, how do I integrate this? How do I live like this?
Right now, I feel like I need to go somewhere for 6 months to kind of integrate this somehow to be able to function.
But I'll give you a little secret. You're actually living inside your own best ashram right now. Your life is your best ashram. It's going to help you. It's going to show you all the places you want to still, out of habit only, be as someone. And that's literally how you embody it. You just see life happens, and then these thoughts come up, and you go, oh, that's from the old perspective of thinking, and do they apply to this me that I've really seen myself to be? And of course, every time I'm really trying hard to be sensible here. You're not helping, I have to say.
Well, you don't have to be sensitive.
It's fine.
I feel like I'm crazy right now. Like I feel insane. So.
But just to remember, you're only seeing what you've always been. Nothing's actually changed. But I remember the first week or so after I really saw this, just walking around like, and that was my, most intelligent response of the week. So it's very normal to feel overwhelmed, because it's very different than what we expected to find.
Yeah, I'm shocked. That's not what I expected at all.
But when I first asked this, when I first did self-inquiry, I did it just to prove everybody wrong, because I was so bloody sure I was going to find a separate self. And boy, was I shocked when I didn't. That was, well, I'm not doing that again then, says mind, So,
and it's just that. It's like what I found is beyond my imagination. Like what I am is something that
beautiful, isn't it?
I could have never imagined that. And I've been listening to hours and hours of, Rupert Spira and you, and there's no words.
And you're like, I really get these guys. I really believe what they're saying. And then after, like, oh my God, that really wasn't what I thought it would be. But it just, as you first see that, it's shocking. It's shocking. It's shocking. And then you see it again and it's still a bit shocking. And then you see it again and it's like, ah. And then you see it again, yeah. And it never gets old, but it loses its, oh my godness, you know, because it's more and more of the seeker falling away and more, this is just what I've always been. This is just what I've always been. I'm just seeing clearly what I've always been. And that is the shift over to where you're just like, you might have a little someone running around in front of your experience saying, what do I do with this? And you go, I don't know. I'm just hanging out here as myself, you know.
I think I just need
just watch for the list of job applications, because there'll be, you need to be unemployed now spiritually. Yeah. Just unemployable spiritually. I don't need to fix this. I don't need to live like this. I don't need to embody this. Because this, what you really are, it doesn't have to do any of those things, does it? You just keep, whatever mind suggests to you, you just keep weighing it against your actual experience. Is that true for me? Really, not so much.
It just seems so unreal that I think I needed to confirm that I'm not insane.
You feel a little bit that way for a while. But it's just incredible at first, isn't it? Like every single human being is walking around hypnotized by their thoughts. And when you finally come out of it, whoa, there's this whole different reality. And it's very real. It's very, very here, you know. So
I don't want to take too much time, but I find it hard now to relate. Like when my friend called me today to talk to me about something that was very important to her, and she was crying, and
it's
like,
an adjustment.
I don't know what to say, because what I feel like saying makes no sense to her. I can't say that. I can't say that.
So here's a good motive. Here's a good thing to come from, because you can't relate to her as a separate someone anymore. So what would love say to her? You know, because I had all these ideas about what the awakened self would, you know, I am the self, you know, to someone who's really upset. It really isn't that useful. So, and I really looked at what love would say. It would meet someone right where they're at. And if they want to talk about the football, you find yourself talking about football or the weather or whatever you can relate to them with, because it's not about what you're saying. It's like, am I really willing to meet this being authentically? Because they still feel they're separate and they're convinced of it. And they couldn't hear you anyway, most likely, if you said that, and you know, they're not ready. So
I said something and she got frustrated.
Yeah.
Because it didn't make any sense to her.
So you go into everyone else's dream, but you stay awake. Yeah. Everyone else is still dreaming. You're awake, and you can just speak to them as if your someoneness will form itself again, and it will be a vehicle that you can use to express with other beings. It's just a vehicle. It's not something you are now. It's just a vehicle in front of you that you get in, like a car. You know, you're not your car. You get in and drive it, and you get out when you're done. Yeah. So don't even try to know what to say. Just show up and see where you can find some common ground. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. If we're going insane, we'll go insane together. Yeah.
If that's what insane feels like, I'm in.
Sanity's overrated anyway. Marcus.
Hi, Helen.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. Good to see you. Thank you for taking my question.
Feels like ages since we spoke.
It has been a little while. Yes. I might need some help forming the question, but I was wondering, when we're interacting with somebody who has dementia, I was wondering if they might be experiencing their mind the same way we are. And if so, is there a best way to interact with them?
Probably what tends to happen in dementia is, and it's different for each person that's going through it, isn't it? That how aware they are of what's happening to them is the difference. And their separate sense of self is falling away, isn't it, in some way? Who they took themselves to be is fragmenting to some degree. And for most people to watch that as a separate being happening to someone you love, it's very, very painful. And it's quite often painful for that being if they know what's happening to them. But if you can watch it as the self, the infinite self, who knows that the person who they think they are is not really who they are anyway. What's falling away isn't their authentic self. It's their thought constructed self. Then you won't have the same suffering or fear when you're watching them go through it. So it's like they're taking off their jacket and their shoes and socks, but it's not who they are. In their essential self, they're still right there. Because if you're watching it as a separate self, it's perhaps one of the worst things. You feel like you're losing someone bit by bit in front of you, someone that you deeply care about.
Right. This is someone who's already full dementia. So I'm just wondering, I guess my question is, are they suffering? Or are they seeing the things coming out of their mouth the same way we are and thinking that makes no sense? Or
so there's two answers to this question. And then the first answer is that who they really are has never suffered.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like who you really are has never suffered. It's our ideas about ourselves, our image of ourselves that's suffering. And so then their image of themselves could be suffering. So thoughts, the thought constructed self might be suffering. If they are conscious of what's happened or happening to them, then that may bring some suffering for them. It's different for each person in that situation, isn't it, to how aware they are of how much they have changed, their personality, their someoneness has changed or fallen away. But there's always a yes and a no answer to that kind of question. No, who they really are isn't suffering at all.
Okay.
Never has, never could. And yes, who they think they are is kind of falling apart, isn't it? The identity that they've spent their whole life constructing and fortifying, just like we all do. Here in Satsang, we're choosing to take it apart on purpose and examine it and see if it's really what we are. They don't have that choice. It's happening because of something usually happening to the brain. It's happening without their consent, for want of a better word. So that can be quite a disturbing process, obviously, for them. Sometimes, not always, sometimes it comes with great joy for them, like an unburdening, a release of a very heavy, or like an outfit that's too tight for them, and they finally get to unbutton it and take it off,
Okay. And the way to interact with them, is it similar to the last question, was to just approach them with love?
Yeah, just afresh each time, if you can. It's not, whatever that person means to you, that there's memories there and emotions might come up for you. So honoring your own process in that, but can you just show up and be with them and see where they're at today as much as you can? Because they might be very confused, or they might be very angry, or they might be quite peaceful, whatever they're feeling. The best way to help, to be with anyone anytime ever, is the same, isn't it? Just meeting them where they're at, not trying to change them, even not trying to change them so that they feel better, not even that one, which is a biggie.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah,
you want to,
but there's a safety and a peace that they can feel with you when you're not even trying to change them then. And it's like from a real deep place inside. I love you too much to try to kind of force you into a shape that, you know, I think will make you feel better. You're just free to be whatever you are in this moment with me. And that's quite a healing place to kind of hang out with anyone. You can feel sort of just, our normal human way is to want to make them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we want to make them feel better, but what if the best way to do that is, instead of some momentary feeling better, you're showing them how to access a real deep peace. When we're not trying to change anything about ourselves, we feel peace. And you can do that for someone else, for want of a better, not do, but you can be that for someone else.
Okay, it sounds like a tall order, but I will.
Just maybe don't try it out there first. Maybe try it out with someone that's feeling quite happy. Like, okay. I'm gonna let you, you know, not obviously saying the worst thing, but I'm gonna let you be as you are right now. I'm just gonna let go, trying to subtly change this moment, and then practice, and then work up to that, you know, to the most challenging person to be around, and let them be, you know. Okay. Not challenging in a bad way, but you get what I mean, right? It might be more difficult at first to apply it here. Yeah. Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Good to talk to you.
You too. Thanks.
And we'll finish with, sorry, it says iPhone, so I'm not sure.
Hi, Helen, it's
Hi.
Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm really good. Thank you so much for your lovely help. I'm the one that I'm doing your dissolving of the ego course. And I'm the one that wrote in about my job. I had that situation at work. And so I've been, one question I've asked for ages now, since you last gave me an answer, is it really true I'm not safe?
Yeah.
So I did that for ages, and I got so much, like, incredible amounts of seeing, I guess, and insight. And I was really able to recognize when, can you hear me properly?
Yeah.
Because I've got earphones on.
Yeah, that's good.
I was able to recognize when I was coming at the question seemingly as a separate person, because I've also been doing looking for the person and not finding the person.
Yeah.
But it does seem sometimes that I am coming from separation, but then I'm quickly seeing, well, that can't be true because I'm not separate. Do you understand what I mean?
So you notice,
and then
I'm using this question to try to get somewhere, right? And you just go, oh yeah, let me just relax and see if I can come to the question from a deeper place.
Yeah, and I'm also, I've just started now, because I listened to something else this morning, because I listen a lot on the treadmill at the gym, actually. I find it really I listened, oh, it's gone now. Oh my God. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm going in and out of the light a lot, actually. Oh yes, is it really true I'm powerless?
Oh, that's
and that has been amazing. I've only I really connected with it properly this morning, and I've been doing it all morning, saying it all morning. And what I really got this morning actually was, it's the question, like really, but it was the question that is where all the power is. Like, I'm asking myself, am I really powerless? And then when I'm going into the question, man, can I feel my power?
Yeah.
And
there's your answer right there. There's your answer right
It's
there.
not my power though, because in it, what I got, I don't know how to explain it, but I really, really got that there isn't an outside.
Yep.
Like in it, and it's hard to explain that I got that the inside and outside are the same.
Yes.
Like if I'm looking out at you, seemingly,
It seems like I'm outside of you.
but it is actually inside.
Yeah.
So it's all inside.
And this is lesson 2, right, of the course?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's deepening. Yeah.
And so even like, I don't know quite how that's going to look in my life, but I'm not that bothered.
We can
because
kind
I
of
feel like,
as you come
yeah,
into life from this place of more authenticity, from this place of being your real self, that you don't so much need things in the outer world to change, but they tend to shift anyway because you're coming from a deeper, richer place, and you're not wasting energy trying to rearrange the outside constantly in some sort of attempt to control. And naturally the outside in there isn't an outside, but it begins to revert to its highest manifestation right now. When you sort of let go of trying to make it happen, it just spontaneously starts moving anyway to what you want.
Yeah, and there's kind of a real sense of self-acceptance in it, in that what it seems to look like someone is saying something to me, but because it is all inside of me, that someone has to be me.
Yeah.
Like, even if it was an alien 50 trillion lifetimes away, it is still inside of me.
and then everyone you meet is yourself, and it's an extraordinary as that deepens, you can't really help but fall in love with everyone again, not in a personal or romantic way, just a kind of a real richness and intimacy, because there's nothing else to be scared of, is there now?
It's funny because I got that yesterday. I was listening, there's one of your YouTubes with Robin on it. Robin, and he was explaining an experience he was having, which I really related to, about being triggered by seeming others. And you said to him just about accepting it. I don't know, something shifted in me then. I can't really explain it. All I know is that, I just got that, oh God, it's all happening in this moment, and I'm the moment.
Yeah, you're not someone in the moment, right? You're not someone in the moment.
I'm the moment. I'm the now. I'm the space. And all I have to do is love myself.
Yeah.
But I couldn't quite get who it was that I was loving. Like, who is it that I'm loving then? Is it I'm loving? Because if there isn't a separate me, is it the noumenon loving itself? Or is it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Love loves to love. That's what it is. That's what it does. It just loves. It doesn't even need. It's so love that it doesn't even need anyone to love. It just loves, right? It's just like spilling out into.
So I'm the love. I mean, you could call it space, but really it's love.
Same.
So I'm the love.
Yeah.
And I'm the love that's loving itself.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
created that human shape so that it could come to recognize itself. How cool is that?
Yeah.
It loves
So now I can
to make shapes,
so
to
now
make forms.
yeah. So now I can see how the seeming situation at work was all me. Like the person, everything was me, all the people in it are me.
Yeah.
But I kind of created it, you know, if I'm the,
Yeah.
it was my kind of little play story.
To help you wake up out of it, right? To help you to have this kind of
Step out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of gave it to, it's like a gift to myself if I
Yeah.
want to see it that way.
Yeah. And it's only when that
looking
dream,
at it. Yeah.
it's only when that dream gets so painful, the dream of others, me and other, that it
Yeah.
love goes, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm ready to see the truth now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it comes out of it and sees, oh my God, there's only me and I'm everywhere.
So no one really did anything to me. They just, it's all me doing it for myself, because somewhere in
me as the, yeah, not me as a someone, me as the infinite self. You've had a very vivid imagination. You've imagined all these other beings. And then because you are so powerful, whatever you imagine, you experience it as extraordinarily real. And the whole universe keeps agreeing with you that there's all these other beings because you're convinced there's all these other beings. So you keep seeing that over and over again. And it goes on for as long as it goes on for. And then at some point, the love just says, all right, I'm done with that now. So it's getting old, you know?
Well, it must have done.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
But you hear what you're saying? You sound like a sage. Can you hear what you're saying? I think
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something powerful has happened to you.
But if it is all me and I'm having this seeming experience, isn't the whole, and it's all me, everything must be having it.
Yeah.
I'm not separate. So
your dream is not just happening, your imagination is not just happening in that body, is it? It's happening everywhere.
No.
So what happens then?
Everyone must be having a shift right now, are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
And each body mind vehicle that kind of has this openness, there's this cosmic shockwave that each human being can tune into to the degree that they're open to accept that or ready to receive that, because you're not separate to anyone, but you are expressing yourself as individual and unique expressions of this love. And it's a free will universe. So if beings want to keep on imagining themselves to be separate, if they're not ready or not able to, totally, we respect that. But those that are ready, they'll be like, it'll be a little bit harder for them to hate themselves tomorrow or judge themselves right now because of what we're seeing here. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just keep questioning.
Yeah.
It's working.
Because the very moment you're questioning, you can't be believing anything.
Yeah, because you're not thinking, at the same time.
You ask one question from curiosity and you can't believe your whole mind. It's gone. In that moment, you can't believe any thought at all. You're just wide open for epiphanies and realizations. Wonderful.
Yeah. I am noticing still there's at times like the fear is really, really strong, but I'm not trying to push it away now. I'm accepting it.
So
like I'm just
very good. Yeah. Just seeing that now that you know who you really are, what do you want to do with this fear now? We know what our old sense of self would do with the fear, and we're not judging it. It's just all it can do is reject and resist. But what does this love want to do with the fear now?
Well, it feels like if everything is love, the fear must be love.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. So love wants to see itself everywhere, and it wants to look at something it used to call fear. It wants to look at something that we would have called fear and say, what is this actually? What is this fear then? If I'm not who I thought I was, how do I know that this is what I thought it was?
Oh my God. I want to kill myself laughing now.
I think I nearly died a
not
few
sure
times last
why.
week laughing, but yeah. So the rest of your life and beyond, the rest of your physical life now, you're going to be looking at things and going, oh, that's it too. That's it too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Is it too?
So what about the seeming, because I've had some pretty not very nice stuff happening in my life, seemingly. Is that love as well?
Yeah. Love.
It must be.
Love when it's
love having a weird idea about itself, maybe.
Yeah. When love shows up as a human being, it has the capacity to think. And when it thinks, it wants to think about what it is, and it begins to identify with the body. And in doing that, it cuts off a lot of its resources and energy. And when love is severely restricted from expressing itself, it looks like anger, or it looks like hatred, or all of the things that seem like the opposite of love. But it's really like the dimmer switch on the wall behind me. If I turn it right up, it's really bright. If I turn it right down, it's dark. There isn't such a thing as darkness. There's the absence of light, or the restriction of the flow of light. There's no darkness switch that I can switch on that makes the room dark. So every thought we believe squeezes our ability a little bit more to express this love. And we become convinced that we're alone and isolated and unsafe and unworthy. And in that, human beings do what they do. And we know what they do then. It's all over the news at nighttime, isn't it? But it's still love.
They can't help them kind of like I'm getting a lot of compassion now, kind of understanding.
Everybody is
cry a bit, but
and of course we take whatever steps we need to protect our own body and others, but nobody can really be blamed for whatever they do while they're under this hypnosis, because it seems extraordinarily real, so real that they wouldn't even question who they really are. And
I guess because it is not real, and really I can feel, I don't quite know how, but nothing really happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
you watch what happens now. When you look at that's going on in the world today from here, from what's real, without judgment, because with compassion, there's a lack of judgment. I don't condone or agree with your actions, but I understand why you're doing them, because I understand how pervasive that illusion is.
Yeah. So are they all me lost?
Yeah. You're the ocean,
so
and you are all the waves on the ocean.
Yeah. So do I just hold that vision that they'll all find themselves quickly?
Just gently, softly, just resting in yourself, because there are no others to try to wake up.
Oh, because it's all me. It's all inside of me.
It's a subtle trap, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mine says,
so...
right, now I've got this awakening lark done. Let me set about helping everyone else. And I did this. I did this for a very long time.
It's tricky, eh?
Yeah. So
it's really tricky.
Now you just rest and see deeper, see clearer, just keep diving deeper. gently, gently, just because I'd like to see more clearly, not for any other reason. And you just know
Yeah.
that must be all there is to do, really, that will help everyone
Oh
else.
my God, that feels amazing.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So anyway, I'm sure I've taken up too much time.
Well, this has been
Thank you
all of these
so much.
conversations that I've had tonight with everyone, or this morning for you. You know, it's they've been amazing, and every time we talk about things like this, it gets easier and clearer for everyone, doesn't it? So, and that's the
Yeah.
purpose of Satsang. When we all get together like this, we can all use each other's experience and epiphanies and resistance and everything to evolve faster ourselves. We all contribute together because there's only one of us here in Satsang. So wonderful. Thank you. Well done.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love you so much.
I love you too.
I don't know where I'd be without you, Helen, honestly. I
You'd
just
find your
don't
way.
know.
You'd find your way eventually. Yeah. Yeah.
But thank you.
I just like finding shortcuts,
Thank you.
sneaky cheats. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so
Wonderful.
blessed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you
Love
too.
everyone here.
Love.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so wow, let's leave it there for today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are. Thank you. Namaste.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.